I've always been a skeptic, the kind who'd laugh off ghost stories and roll my eyes at superstitions. But lately, my life, once so mundane, was starting to feel like the backdrop of a gothic novel, and I was unwittingly the protagonist. It all began on a drab, rain-soaked Tuesday. Boredom and solitude had become my constant companions since I started working from home. In a moment of weakness, I gave in to my friend's suggestion to visit a local fortune teller, Madame Zahra. I thought it would be a harmless diversion, a story to tell. Madame Zahra's parlor was like stepping into another world, one where time stood still and the air was thick with the scent of incense. The walls were draped in rich, dark velvet, and candles flickered in every corner, casting eerie shadows. Her eyes, dark and penetrating, met mine as she shuffled her tarot cards with an unsettling rhythm. The room felt colder, the air denser, as she laid out the cards one by one. The tower, the hanged man, death. Their ominous imagery sent a chill down my spine. I left her parlor feeling unsettled, the weight of her words heavy on my mind. She had spoken of a dark and challenging path ahead, of shadows that would haunt me. I laughed it off then, but the laughter didn't quite reach my eyes. That night, as I lay in bed, a faint sound broke the silence of my apartment. It was soft at first, like a whisper, but grew clearer. The sound of children laughing, echoing through the empty rooms. My heart raced. There were no children here. The laughter continued, night after night, always when the world was at its quietest. I searched my apartment for a logical explanation. A TV left on, a toy forgotten by a previous tenant. But there was nothing. Days turned into weeks, and my skepticism began to crumble. Each creak of the floorboards, each flicker of the lights, felt like a confirmation of Madame Zahra's predictions. I was living in a haunted house, a character in a story I never wanted to be part of. I started to avoid my home, staying late at work, wandering the streets to escape the eerie atmosphere. The once comforting solitude of my apartment now felt oppressive, charged with an unseen presence. Then, as suddenly as they had started, the disturbances ceased. One night, the laughter just stopped, and the oppressive feeling lifted. I wandered through my apartment, half expecting it to return, but there was only silence. In the following days, I felt a cautious sense of relief. The sun seemed brighter, the air fresher. Maybe it had all been in my head, a product of isolation and an overactive imagination, fueled by Madame Zahra's ominous words. Life returned to its normal rhythm. I caught up with friends, attended meetings, and started to enjoy the solitude again. The tarot reading became a distant memory, a spooky story to share at parties. But sometimes, in the quiet moments, I'd catch myself listening intently, half expecting to hear the faint sound of laughter. It never came, but the fear that it might lingered. Madame Zahra's words continued to echo in my mind, a reminder of the fine line between reality and the supernatural. I began to wonder if our destinies were truly written in the stars, or if we had the power to change them. I realized that the experience had changed me. I was no longer the skeptic who laughed at the unknown. I had felt fear, real and palpable, and it had shown me a world beyond my understanding. Sometimes I think about going back to Madame Zahra to seek clarity or perhaps reassurance, but a part of me is afraid of what I might learn, of what other shadows might be lurking in my future. The laughter of the spectral children, though absent, had left its mark. It was a reminder of the thin veil between our world and the one that lies just beyond our perception. I learned to appreciate the ordinary moments, the mundane aspects of life that I had once taken for granted. There was comfort in routine, in the predictable ebb and flow of daily life. The experience with Madame Zahra and the subsequent events have been a journey through the shadows, a test of my courage and beliefs. It taught me the value of facing my fears, of looking beyond the surface. As time passed, the fear subsided, replaced by a sense of wonder and curiosity about the mysteries of the universe. I had glimpsed something extraordinary, something that defied explanation. I often ponder the nature of reality, of what lies beyond our understanding. The experience had opened a door, and though I was hesitant to step through it, I couldn't deny its existence. In the end, my visit to Madame Zahra's parlor, once a decision made out of boredom, had become a pivotal moment in my life. It taught me to embrace the unknown, to acknowledge the existence of things beyond our comprehension, and to live with a newfound respect for the mysteries that surround us.